Well, hey, lady, Catherine here, and today we are diving in and talking all about your habits. So, this morning I posted a quote that I thought was so incredibly powerful from this book that I'm reading right now called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And if you haven't read it before, I absolutely recommend you pick it up. I've read it more than once. There's always so many beautiful nuggets of wisdom in there. But the quote was, "You get what you repeat." So, how does that relate to food freedom? How does that relate to your relationship with food and body image and your habits, right? Well, that's exactly what I want to break down for you today. So, first things first, I want you to really think about in your life what are the things that you are repeating, whether they are conscious or kind of unconscious and you're a little bit on autopilot that are really keeping you stuck and keeping you trapped in the same place again and again, right? I know I can think of a bunch of different things that I do, and I know you can too, right? Everybody can. We all have goals. We all have things we're wanting to get to. We all have, different ways in which we would like to improve our lives, right? But the thing about it is the way in which we approach this is really, really powerful because when we continue to repeat the same things again and again and again, expecting a different result, well, that's just going to lead us back to the beginning, right? So that's really what was so powerful about this quote was just when you really sit down and you think, you get what you repeat. What does that mean for you? What immediately pops into your head when you think that? What is that? Oh shit, I got to do something about that. What is that thought that comes up for you, right? So it's not just about seeing the thought, right? It's not just about recognizing, okay, this is the thing that keeps showing up for me. It's continuing to be a problem in my life. Now, whether that has to do with, binging every night when you get home, whether it has to do with not starting or not staying with that movement practice and that exercise routine that you really want to be doing, whether it's about staying up too late and waking up, the next morning feeling awful and exhausted and kind of hungover, right? Maybe it is repeating that negative self talk again and again and again that I'm not enough of this, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not thin enough, I can't do this, this is too hard, this is supposed to be a struggle, right? All of those little thoughts that just go around and around and around like a hamster wheel in our head, right? I know you know them. And they make you crazy, right? So, what do we do about it? When we know that something is really continuing to cycle again and again and again, it isn't just about shifting out and just totally changing the stimulus and willpowering your way through it, right? It's not about just hustling through the struggle, which is something that women are very good at doing, right? Just work harder at it, it'll be fine. Set an alarm. But sometimes it's more than that. In order to break yourself out of that cycle of continuing to repeat the things that aren't working for you and aren't serving for you, there are a few ways in which we can really do that and we can look at that differently, right? Rather than just trying to struggle through it or muscle through it. So, the first thing that we're going to really talk through is just understanding what are the things. When I say that to you, you get what you repeat. What immediately pops into your mind? What is that? Oh God, this thing, right? What is that thing, that thorn in your side? The kind of the thoughts and the beliefs and the activities and those habits that you just can't seem to change. What are those things? What are the things that are keeping you stuck and what I like to refer to as your thorny cocoon, right? That comfort zone place of comfortably uncomfortable. You know which thorns are going to poke you where, right? You know when you're going to feel disappointed. You know when you're going to feel upset because it's that inner critic, right? It's just trying to protect you. It's trying to keep you safe in your little cocoon, even if it's thorny as all get out on the inside and isn't any much more comfortable than it is out here. But you don't know that until you break out, right? So what's a part of your thorny cocoon, and what are those things that just they're there. You can feel them in the back of your mind. First, it's really getting clear on what are the things, right? Second, we've got to look at how we are approaching the shift, right? So like I said before, if we're not going to out hustle it and we're not going to out, struggle it, right? And we're gonna not just work harder but work smarter. We're gonna leverage our energy. We have to look at approaching your habits from a different perspective. So just saying, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna go to bed earlier, right? Or I'm just gonna eat healthier, or I'm gonna cut out sugar, or I'm gonna start doing keto again, or I'm gonna just walk every day, right? So yes, sometimes that can work for a short period of time, but more often than not, if it's not an ingrained habit in you right now, that means it's a habit that you've started and you've stopped, right? So maybe it's, taking a walk at lunchtime. Maybe it is slowing down on sugar a little bit. Maybe it is shifting parts of your nutrition to help you find foods that really satisfy you but that don't make you want to binge, right? Maybe it is getting to bed earlier or beginning that morning routine. There's nothing wrong with wanting any of those things because all of those things really help make you a healthier and happier human, right? They help you get to your goal. But just doing the thing, it's not enough. So what do we do instead? So when we're clear on what we want, when we're clear on, those things that we would like to stop repeating, right? The things that are slowing us down and holding us back, what we do next is we have to look at it from a different perspective. And this is something that I teach my Food Freedom Method clients about. So much of the transformation that comes with food freedom, and any transformation for that matter, but especially when it becomes to something that is so deeply rooted and ingrained in you, we have to look at your identity. So rather than just saying I'm going to shift this habit because I'm going to, right? Because I've decided that I'm going to, and my willpower is strong enough, I can do this, right? You're kind of white knuckling it the whole way. I know you know what I mean. I've been there, right? So instead of white knuckling it, it's looking at, is the woman that you want to be, does she do those things? Does she stay up super late, or does she go to bed early? Does she fuel her body intentionally? Does she make shifts in, her habits and her activities throughout the day? Does she have an exercise routine that she likes and that she feels good about and that makes her feel strong and like a badass, right? Does she say these negative things to herself in the mirror? So the way in which you can really channel this and start thinking about this, because this is a really hard one for a lot of the women that I work with, right? Because right now, your identity is very different than the identity that you want, right? There are pieces of it that you're wanting to change and you're wanting to shift, and there are old belief systems and old patterns that are just kind of keeping you stuck in the place you don't want to be, right? So in order to shift that identity, some of the ways in which I really like to kind of start beginning to have that conversation and start framing that conversation is to look at whatever it is that is your goal, whatever it is, the thing that you want, the reason that you showed up and you joined this group, right? What is that reason? When I say the words food freedom to you, what immediately comes to mind for you, right? What is that reason? What is the big reason right now for you? Is it to lose weight and feel good and confident and fabulous in your body, to be able to walk into a room and own it? Is it to have more time and energy to spend with your family and your loved ones, right? Is it to have more time to work on things that you want to do, to have more rest, to quiet your mind? Is it to have more energy? Is it to progress in your career because you've gotten all of this struggle out of your way and you can focus on your mission and your vision for your life, right? Is it to just feel proud of yourself that you accomplished the goal that you want? What is it on the other side? What is the big why that got you here, that brought you here, that the big why that has made you go on diets before? What is that why? Right? So that's where we start, is we look at that piece of the puzzle. If you're struggling to kind of allow yourself to dream, if you're struggling to allow yourself to imagine what you want for yourself and for your life, when you struggle to think about what your identity is beyond just being an awesome mom, an awesome friend, an awesome girlfriend, wife, partner, an awesome, employee, right? Beyond those external identities, It's about looking at what do you want for you, giving yourself permission to dream a little bit, to give yourself the permission to create a persona of who you want to be. Because you already are her. She's already in you. We just have to pull her out a little bit, right? We have to give her permission to come out and be seen. Because it's scary sometimes, right? That's the hardest part. When you want something else for your life and you want another identity, when you're really wanting to make these big changes in your life, the hardest part is just letting her be known. So that's a big part of the work. That's a big part of the work, is understanding what do you want and how can we draw her out of you already, right? So that's how you hack your habits. That's how you create a why that is so strong and so compelling to you. It's even more compelling than the goal itself. Because when you're coming at it from a place of, I am a woman who does X, it's a very different animal. It makes you want to do the thing because you want to be that person, rather than I want to, lose 20 pounds. That is not nearly as compelling as I want to be the woman who feels confident in command of her life. Can you feel the difference? Can you feel how one is so just radiates out of you versus this kind of external thing? It's still okay to want to lose the weight. It's still okay to want to implement the healthy habits. They're important in your life, whatever it is that's important to you. But getting even deeper than that and understanding that we are going down to the root level here, that is where the work is. That is how you actually get the things you want. And that is how you can create the habits that you want to keep and that you will keep. Is we've got to go one layer down and then another layer down and then another layer down. And then you get there and then you see what you need. So here's the thing about this. This is really powerful work and it's really important. It's at the heart of everything that you do when it comes to making big changes in your life. And there are things that get in the way sometimes, right? So what I want you to do now is I want you to just start playing with it a little bit. I want you to get clear on when I say to you, you get what you repeat. What is that kind of prickly thing that happens inside of you? What is that little thought? And you're like, oh no, I don't want to think about that, right? I know I had a few when I heard that, kind of kicked my butt. We all have a few, right? In all different areas of our lives. So get clear on what are those things that you feel like are being repeated again and again that you're sick and tired of. Does it have more to do with your self-talk and how you see yourself, how you look at yourself in the mirror, how you treat yourself, how you show up day to day in your life, how you start something and stop something, right? What are those things that just piss you off that you wish that you could change, right? So first, it's getting clear on that. And next, it's getting clear on what is it that you want, right? And then the work begins on doing your identity. So that's really what I want you to start working on this week. I want you to get your journal and I want you to go back and replay this video again so you can really walk through this and start getting very, very clear. Because then when you know what you want and you know who you want to be, it makes it a lot easier to begin taking the steps to get there. Because who she is and that piece of the puzzle, that's where the prize is. That's where the freedom comes in. So I'm so excited for you to get started on this work. Definitely check out that book. It is fantastic. And if you want to talk through this with me, I am more than happy to do that. Feel free to shoot me a message and we can kind of chat through it a little bit, or you can also hop on my schedule and schedule a call. Whatever works for you sounds great. I am here to help. So talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.